Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. This is Julie with J of Greek Freedom. Would like to thank the Lord and give him credit for blessing me with these words that go out to the nations and kingdoms of the earth, to root out and pull down, destroy and throw down, or to build and to plant. So here the Lord switched from Mr. Z to the audience. So he says, talking about how Mr. Z thinks he's got me pegged for so it just a thought realm, sis, that getting her in a heap of trouble with my every now and then, Bob, 'cause baby girl got like coping mechanisms, man, that includin' leaning into my voice, dude, to put it plainly, miss. And yes, doll, she very aware of it, sis. And yeah, folks, so we speak of when she like wrong, dude. But do she care to talk about it, miss, when she knows she got like haters watching her channel, man? And hoping, man, to like me, man, that she'll slip up one time and say, yeah, folks, so you bludgeoning idiots is going to hell, man. Not so much, bruh. Not so much, dude. 'Cause what, dog, to turning her audience against her mean, man? If not, exactly, bro. Army full of bludgeons and codgers, man. And that all with a truncheons in, like, hand, dog. To punish hay with they. What, chick? So you think we like in the wrong, miss, when we just about the most upstanding citizens in this here? Eh, not so much, bruh. Not so much, dude. With like the half of you salivating on the street, man, to see baby girl like slip and fall, man, as she goes to pick up them kiddos for the millionth. Oh, she ain't got no network, folks, except this slitherin' and slimy, surrounding her like this snake statue. Right, folks. If we keep goin', they gon' like chop my head off, boys, in the form that's, well, her, dude, to put it. Exactly, man. So when my words say, boys, that all of humanity will be grinding their teeth at, they'll really be longin' to kill yo, just so they can wipe out one more ounce of my spirit on this planet, man. I know, chick. Sound pretty sick to yo. But, well, John O. details that's left out of that book, man, and how it drivin' yo' generation a bit crazy, man, to know more of my. But just wait for it, man, 'cause we not quite into that tribulation-y thingy just yet, man. Not a long way off, dear. Here he kissed a woman's cheek. But not quite yet, dear, and we mean like time, sis, for them bombs to drop of no. Really, folks, a doozy, man. So what do you say, Bob? We stop longin' for that. Well, shies it show to get started, man, 'cause it gon' mean lots and lots of lives, well, lost, dude, in the blink of a heartbeat, bro. And really, dog, you really ready for all that? The Lord pointed at women. Oh, they gon' be cryin', dog, and we mean a lot, son, for all the sons and daughters that they will lost, dude, in them big A cities, bruh, where the Timbuktu time to drop them trees, or buildings rather, is gon' go. Here I heard the ticking of a watch, and I saw someone leaning in to hear it. That's right, dude. Very, dog. Oh, it gon' be surreal, folks, and the simplest of all. And just carry on, man. And yeah, sis, so I mean with your life, hun. 'Cause we got like kiddos to raise, don't we, Mom? And if this is you today, sis, and you haven't been treatin' them dollies with, well, respect, darlin'. The Lord tapped his watch. Time, darlin'. It time to get yo' mama act together, hun, 'cause them little kiddos is goin' like turn on you one day if you're not careful, sis. And that day is, well, painful for a mum, to say the least, darlin'. And a reflection, chick. Sometimes, dolly, of all that a mama jama put hey kids through, miss. We know, dolly, sound unfair to yo. Raise them much, hun, but it have to be done with like excellence, sis, to see the real results that you. And so don't get desperate, hun, and start putting a ton of rules in. Just baby steps, darlin', or they'll be looking at you like, yeah, boys, I don't know about you, man, but this lady I call Mom is actin' kinda strange lately, man, and I'm not really sure. Well, folks, So we got a little dolly, man, who just about tired of it, man. And yeah, man, so I speak of his being unwilling to let her go, folks. Therefore she's struggling with it a little bit at this time, man. The despair that comes along with, well, feeling trapped, bro. When she know them Americani ladies is like filing for divorce in a heartbeat, bro. And that all 'cause they don't like the way they man, well, smell sometimes, dude. When he come back from a long day of, the Lord pointed at Max. Oh, he grocery shopping and store hopping sometimes for her, man. All so he can get the right, well, products that the wifey ordered, man. I know, dude. Abusers, man, who thinking it sillily at times, man, that if he just buy, hey, the millionth grocery item, man, she just gonna fall into his. Not so much, dude. Not so. So, dear ones, now that we got a few wops taken care of today, sis, the Lord kissed your cheek? Doesn't, Dolly? And yeah, sis, so we mean that we don't love you, hun. It just, well, pretty complicated to give people advice these days, folks. 'Cause nobody want it, sis, including yo. Just careful, doll, telling them kiddos what to. 'Cause they all you got at times, ain't they, hun? Exactly, Dolly. So let's keep 'em coming around for Mama's advice more often, hun, by going. Exactly, doll. And just listening sometimes to hey friends. By now, man, versus going in on the jugular, that's quiet, dog. She real quiet by now, man, when it comes to her own, well, story, dude. 'Cause she kinda starting to agree with you folks that it sound, well, crazy, man, that a young man like him would be able to see over and around her, well, circumstances, dude. To be able to see that, what, bro? So this chick, need my help or something, man, to make it through this. The Lord did this. So she do, man, so she. Yeah, folks, so it time to sign off, man, for now, dear ones. But not for good, bro. Which is fairly what gonna happen, folks, once them bombs drop, dude. So just thankful, man, that nothing like happening to your countrymen yet, dude, versus. Oh, they livin' they big lives now, man. Much as that Jeremiah of a tip wanted to call the Israelites out for being, well, aloof, dog, to all that were about to change their world of no. A doozy, bro. It gonna be a real doozy of a time for everybody, miss, if you care to calm down about hate. Yeah, so I made the end times video before, but the Lord was basically saying that some of y'all are a little bit surprised I don't talk more about the end times because that's kind of obviously the point of what we're preparing for. um, so I'll just let y'all know a bit how I view it. But even if you hear of a terrible famine over here or a terrible war over here, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're in the tribulation. So he hasn't said it straight out because I don't actually even talk to the Lord anymore about this stuff just because I feel like I kind of, sorry, just if it sounds prideful, but I feel like I kind of got it down and I know what I'm waiting for. So I just get this feeling whenever we go into the end times, we're just gonna know it. It's gonna be just the lead up to a war. It took a while for World War II to get rolling, but then once it did get rolling, finally people were like, okay, this is it. The war has started. So to me, it's kind of like that. It's like a lead up, and then when things start really rolling, we'll just know, as humanity, we'll just know, for people that are not religious, I think they'll just know somehow the world has changed, but they won't be saying oh, we're in the tribulation. That's kind of something we'll be saying among ourselves as Christians. Um, and all these prophecies that are swirling around, I I sort of view it as they're swirling around in a way, they're gonna happen, and then at some point they're all gonna come together down on this. You can think of it as a painting, if you will, with all these different pieces that fit together. So, I saw about the whales that died. I think it was Australia. There were so many of them, and I remembered it's been years ago now that I had a prophecy about something happening on the beaches, basically, or yeah, something like that with nature. And I thought, well, there's so many ways that could be fulfilled. Um, but who's to say like which prophecy the Lord meant when He blesses the prophets with different like words of, you know, this city or that city. We know some prophets are like giving specifics, and some have this more broad stuff. And the Lord has it all in His head. So it's just too much information to be picking apart from the Lord. Like, okay, and what does this mean? And what does that prophecy mean? And that prophecy? If I was to run around online and try to gather it all together, because I actually have tried that in the past with a little book that I had with even just stuff from the Bible. So it wasn't even other people's prophecies, it was just the Bible. And obviously other people have put together some great stuff, but it's tough reading and it's really long and it's really detailed. And at some point your brain, well, my brain has changed over the past few years. So for me, it's literally like I can't remember it all. And I can go back and read books I read like months ago and actually forget almost the whole story. So I sort of just view that as a blessing for now. So I'm just kind of like, when things pop up or things happen, like Trump, he's obviously being raised up onto a platform at this time. Then I'm asking the Lord, okay, what's this about? And that's just kind of the way I view the end times. Like, as the events happen and things come to the forefront of people's, the news, or maybe not on the news, but people know what's going on, it'll be asking the Lord, okay, what's the next step, and what is this about? And if I can avoid the crazy and the crisis, like some of it, I don't think I don't think I'm gonna be one of those people that avoids everything just because of the way my life is at this point. Um, got a lot of people watching me all the time now, but just every now and then, I'd be like, Lord, if you could help me navigate this over here, that'd be great. Like that's just kind of the way I'm viewing it. Not like I'm gonna survive this huge, terrible thing that's about to affect the whole earth, but not me, uh, not thinking of it in those terms at all. It's gonna be like, okay, all these people are struggling over here with this disease or this thing that happens to their skin because they took the mark, but that doesn't mean I won't have a sunburn over here, because of what's going to be happening with the sky. So there's just, it's called birth pains for a reason. I never actually had to deal with too much pain giving birth to my two kids, but I had the feeling like I had a few contractions before I had the C-section with both of them. So I got the feeling of like the first pains of it, and it was painful enough to remember, but I've never actually been through the process. But for anyone who has, it's not a walk in the park. So, but as the Lord says, there'll be some miracles, and He'll be helping us through this time, and He'll be refining people, and just helping you be a testimony to others, even if you're not out on the streets preaching and stuff. Um, I admire anyone who's able to do that. I just feel like God really has to call you to be doing that type of stuff, because mostly people will be watching and not. It will be dangerous times, so you just want to be careful, like what type of ministry you'll be doing. Somehow I just get the feeling like some people are meant to be witnesses, like people will witness their lives in a way of what's happening. And then for others, maybe they will get brought before a king or something and they get to speak. And then for others, they'll be um, slithering off into the wilderness, to hide. There will be so many different stories for everyone. So I guess if I was to give any advice, it would just be to figure out your story, or at least what your next step should be, because I know preparation time, like the time for preparation is drawing to a close. I definitely get that sense, but I'm not saying 2025. Um, but I feel the urgency. So, and I think a lot of people do. So that's like, you know, don't get it mixed up. If you feel like something's literally about to happen, just because you're feeling that from the Holy Spirit, just remember like God is outside time. So for Him, like if it's an urgent time, that time could be a 7-year period of urgency that you just you're getting a sense for what it's going to be like. So I think that's sort of a mistake some people are making at this time, or they just need the extra views online. I don't judge people for that. If they need the extra views, that's fine. But that's not what this channel is all about. So there you have it. A little bit of my views on that, and yeah, the Lord kind of runs with sometimes some of my commentary. So we'll see what He says on the next rhema message that comes in. It's not just for me, but He's doing this for y'all too. So anyway, it's meant to be a blessing. I know it can be painful to interact with the Lord sometimes on a deeper level. All right, there's some food for thought for you today. And remember, God turns darkness into light. God bless you.